Welcome to the High Pressure Podcast with me, George Rotterman.
And me, Marie Williams. Brought to you by Reliably Ratterman.
Bringing you industry news and trends.
Plus, insightful conversations with industry leaders.
Let's get to today's show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the High Pressure Podcast. I am your host, Marie Williams. In this episode, it's a short episode. We are going to play a customer question and then bring on a Ratterman specialist to answer that question for you. Today's question is around vaporizers. So we're bringing in our cryogenic sales manager, Lance Looper, to answer questions around vaporizers that our customers typically call in about. Our hopes of these short episodes are that it brings benefit to you in the field while you're working. Feel free to share this with colleagues or other people you know. There's so much knowledge in our industry, and we want to make sure that that knowledge gets spread throughout all of our customers. So if you have questions that you would like us to answer, please reach out to us with those questions, and we will get a specialist on to answer them for you. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the podcast. Thanks. All right. I would like to welcome a special guest today. It is Lance Looper, who is our cryogenic sales specialist. Welcome, Lance.
Hey, how are you guys?
And if you don't know Lance, I feel like everyone knows you, Lance, but if you don't know Lance, he has some of the most knowledge in the industry, especially when it comes to anything cryogenic. So he's always a resource for you here at Ratterman. We are going to play a customer question. We got... it's a real customer question, a real phone call that they called in about vaporizers. And then Lance is going to dive into answering that question along with a few other items around vaporizers. So Lance, are you ready for me to play this call?
I am excited and ready. Thank you.
Cryogenics this evening.
Hi, good morning. The reason why I'm calling you is because we're working on an LNG project wherein we have a need for an ambient air vaporizer for the loading services.
Okay.
I was wondering, these are monel. I mean, the website shows most of the vaporizers to be monel vaporizer. Do you guys do anything with stainless or aluminum?
Okay, so that customer called in asking about vaporizers. What's your take on this?
Well, first of all, I'd like to start, and I love these little fireside chats that we're doing. These are just great, and these question answers. I love doing these. It's interesting. The question that she called in with is it's fairly new, but we're doing a lot of different things from our side. You know, we have a team of engineers that work with us now on our vaporizers. And if you think about the question she asked, you know, monel is a product that's being used on vaporizers, traditionally used in liquid oxygen. You know, you worry about, you know, high pressure liquid oxygen. So you'd go to a monel, which would probably keep you from having, you know, maybe some issues with adiabatic compression, different things like that. But we're doing all types of different things. The engineers are doing stainless. They're also doing aluminum. Actually, one of our most common vaporizers that we sell is an aluminum vaporizer. But we're doing stainless steel vaporizers. Traditionally, you know, where you see a lot of those right now is some of the high pressure applications. We are going to be introducing a vaporizer soon, all the way up to 15,000 PSI with stainless. So there's just new things. So I think, you know, the question is, you know, one that's probably going to get bigger than that. But at this point, you know, we're a custom build, you know, manufacturer of vaporizers, and we can do just about anything.
Absolutely. And we're stocked all around the country. So if people need them fast, we've got you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're
yes.
Currently right now, you know, if you think about from our stocking standpoint, you know, when you think about vaporizers, you know, one of the biggest things you run into right now, it's the biggest hurdle, is shipping costs, you know, and you think about where we have, Ratterman has strategically placed vaporizers. You know, we've got them in the South, we've got them in Texas, we've got them in Kentucky, we've got them on the East Coast, we got them on the West Coast. I mean, so a customer can, you know, theoretically, you know, when they're going to install a tank, they can come by, pick them up at our location, have them shipped at a fairly inexpensive cost, you know, from one of these locations. So it's really, from a strategic standpoint, it's really put us in a good position with vaporizers. It's not only helping our customer get a vaporizer quickly when they need it, but it's also cutting out a lot of those transportation costs.
Absolutely. And so one of the questions that we get frequently from customers is, how do I size a vaporizer for their customer? Do you want to dive into that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So, sizing a compressor, or I'm sorry, sizing a vaporizer is, it's a very kind of easy process. There's just a few things you kind of need to know. Your first thing you need to know are your pressures. We do a couple of different things. We do low pressure and high pressure vaporizers. So we need to know that. The biggest thing you're looking for from a vaporizer, if you think about what it's actually doing, it's taking a cryogen and basically turning back into what originally it was at, what was a gaseous state. So you're looking for a particular flow rate. So when a customer calls in, you need to know the pressures, you need to know the flow rates, and something that you have to keep in mind, and a lot of people tend to forget this, is where you're going to put a vaporizer, what part of the country you're going to put that in is a big part of this. Me living in the South, I'm down here in humid Texas, and I could basically put a vaporizer in on a tank over here. And if I decided to throw that on a truck and send it up to Canada, it'd be a totally different situation, because you're dealing with ambient temperatures, so, you gotta, I'm probably over exaggerating here, but 125 here in Texas, and then you've got minus 40, minus 20 sometimes in Canada, and you really have to put those into the equation.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a map available to our customers of the temperate zones in the United States, along with a great, I'll call it a calculator, but it's a form that you fill out with temperate zones and with flow rates and usage, and that kind of helps calculate out for you what vaporizer you need. But again, if you call into Routerman, we have experts on staff that'll help answer those questions for you. Lance, one of the hot industries emerging is hydrogen right now. Are we taking care of that industry as far as vaporizers go? Can you speak to the vaporizers we're carrying for hydrogen?
Absolutely. It's one of the biggest growing industries right now out there. And for hydrogen, we've done some very different things. We do some low pressure things for hydrogen. We're actually doing some of the high pressure. When you think about hydrogen and what it's doing, and basically we're taking a liquid, pushing it into a high pressure gas, then dumping it into vehicles, fuel cells, different things like that. But when you're pushing it into a vehicle, you need some extremely high pressures. And some of these fueling stations, you see them in California, Texas. I mean, they're putting them up all over the place. We build a vaporizer currently. We go all the way up to about 15,000 psi. It's 100 bar. These are pressures that have never been seen before on vaporizers, and we're utilizing these to feed the fueling systems. That's basically putting fuel into the car. So it's very exciting. We're doing a lot of stuff in the hydrogen market, and we're capable of doing just about anything and do things really that nobody else can do at this point.
Excellent. Yeah, very exciting stuff. And, that just speaks to, we want to support our customers in any way that they're growing. We know the hydrogen industry has been one that's top of mind for a lot of our customers. So we're thankful that we're able to support you all, the people that are in hydrogen. And then along with, our normal everyday gases that you need vaporizers for, we can help you out. Like Lance has said, we're extremely customizable with what we're able to do for you. Again, want to emphasize to our customers, if you're in Southern California, Northern California, anywhere on the West Coast, anywhere on the East Coast, middle of the country, in the South, we have vaporizers available for you in those locations. So whatever you need, we're here to help, and we will link Thank you so much for listening to this short episode. We hope that this brought you some value. Again, if you have questions you'd like us to answer, please reach out to us with those questions and we will get them on the podcast. We look forward to the next time we get to be together, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Thanks for watching. Stay up to date with the latest news in the gas and welding industry by clicking on the subscribe button.
And check out one of our other videos to learn more. Find out more about Reliably Ratterman at rmiordered.com.